My second question is more about the writing. My friend would like to know how you went about structuring the book.
Yeah. Well, falconry's got a nice, it's got an inevitable arc to it. You know, you start off with this wild bird and you in darkened rooms, like sort of like a monkish cell. The bird is scared of you, you know, and you're desperately keen to win the bird's trust, and it's all done through positive reinforcement. There's no punishment or horror in falconry, despite whatever T.H. White says. It's all done through gifts of steak, which works quite well with people as well, I've found. Obviously, not raw. And then that trust sort of slowly, as the weeks go by, you leave that darkened room and the world becomes brighter, and you go out and you have the bird on a long line, and eventually the bird's free, and suddenly you're on this sort of frosty hillsides, you know, under winter skies. So there's a sort of arc which structures the book anyway. But at the same time, you know, I was sort of going down into darkness quite rapidly at the time. So there's the two things there. And T.H. White's hawk training, although truncated because he lost his bird, sorry, spoilers. I mean, thank God. Same arc. So, I mean, in a sense, it was sort of given to me. I knew what would come next because it was a memoir, I guess. But again, it was what we were saying earlier to Carol about the actual sort of individual structuring of particular parts of the chapters. That was just done by listening very carefully to where the book wanted to go. And I know it's an incredibly unhelpful answer in some ways, but that's how it felt. It felt very much as if the story was being told through me quite often when I was writing it. Yeah.
Well, there are times that the chapters are discrete chapters about T.H. White or about your father or about Mabel. And then there are chapters that are like this crescendo where all three strands come
that was
together.
quite carefully. I mean, I tried to do that. I mean, that was quite carefully. Listen to me. It was quite carefully done. That sounds really bad. I wanted the book to have more voices in it than your normal nature writing book. I love nature writing, but I have this sort of allergy to the kind of nature writing that is basically someone taking you out into the countryside and saying, that is a, you know, blah, 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 blah. Aren't you lucky to have me tell you this, you know? I wanted the book to have voices that weren't just mine, and I wanted the book to try and mimic what happens in grief. So I think what grief does is shatter the narratives. It shatters the stories that you tell yourself about the way the world works. And I wanted it to shatter genre in the same way. So if you have the book, it starts off with a chapter which is basically straightforward nature writing, and then there's a chapter which is it's a story of my father's death. It's grief memoir, and then there's one about T.H. White, which is literary biography. As you say, they're quite discrete. And then as the book goes on, all these different genres and voices start to sort of smash into one another and collide, and eventually it gets incredibly messy. And I did try and structure it like that. You know, and that was quite interesting to try and do.
Yeah.
Yeah.